the Chinese Communist Party and trying to steal the 2020 election. John Solomon's been breaking these stories that Kash Patel and the FBI have been giving them. Can you give us an update and your observations? You kind of called this a couple of years ago. MilesGuo said it, that they hate Trump so much, they see 2020 as a year that they must take him out. And if they can't do it through a pandemic or they can't do it any other way, they're going to get into it and steal the election. Ma'am.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. You know, it's kind of awkward for me to say MilesGuo and whistleblower movement was right. As you mentioned, Miles had basically reviewed what's behind the CCP and what they were about to do at the time. In November 2020, he basically told the world that the CCP used all kind of fraudulent activities, and not just a single one of them, multi-fronts, multiple layers of those fraudulent activities carefully planned way ahead to steal this election. And today I want to fill in the blanks because MilesGuo made a bold claim and many people laughed at him in 2020 November. And he said, this is not an election. This is not a presidential election between Biden and Trump versus Trump. But this is actually an election between Xi Jinping's Chinese Communist Party and America. And I wanted to help your audience to understand why he said that. You need to understand why Biden must steal the election and why the Xi Jinping, the CCP, had to, whatever costs they have to pay, they have to help Biden to win this election. You need to understand why. This all comes back to the laptop from hell, which has been buried and dismissed as Russia disinformation. I think just a few days after the New York Post broke the story, I think 51 intelligence officers saying, hey, this is Russia. Smells like an information operation from a adversary state. But wait a second. Does people know what's in this laptop? Of course not. But this is where I want to link everything together for you. So you knew Miles was taken away by FBI on March 15th, 2023, only 6 hours after his arrest. His Sherry-Netherland hotel, which is a very classic high-end residence in the heart of the Manhattan, New York. And mysteriously, the fire engulfed the entire apartment. But on top of it, the partition wall between two rooms, one is piano room and theater room, was chiseled open. You know what's inside the partition wall? It was top secret recording of the conversation between Xi Jinping and the then Vice President Joe Biden on political matters concerning these two countries. And on top of it, there are massive amount of financial corruption dealings, evidence between the Biden's family and CCP leaders. Wang Qishan, the vice president then. But more so, was missing, is Hunter Biden's hard drives, USBs with audios, videos, photos of Hunter Biden, dining and business negotiation and entertainment in Pangu Hotel in Beijing with CCP intelligence agents. Okay, and who owns the Pangu Hotel? I don't have to say that again. MilesGuo's family trust owning the Pangu Hotel. So all of those things are gone after MilesGuo was taken away by the FBI. So, okay, and those evidence dates back to 2010.
Hang on. Okay. Slow down.
Yeah.
Are you implying that the FBI destroyed what you purport? I don't think there's any of the backup, but you purport to be this damning information?
Okay, let me tell you two things. When MilesGuo was arrested on that day, none of the FBI agents were camera. Okay, this is off. And the second thing is, this is the most luxury hotel in downtown Manhattan. Okay, and MilesGuo owning the entire floor of 18th floor of Sherry-Netherland, and that's the largest apartment, and himself installed security cameras all over the place, including the building. But the weird thing is, there's no video footage. There's a lot of minutes missing. And even after investigation by the local fire department and ATF issued a report and saying they cannot conclude the reason of the fire. So the fire remains mysterious today. And why they chisel the wall? Why they have to do that? And the part that they chisel the wall actually has the most fire damage. So that none of this makes sense. So what really makes sense for you is Xi Jinping is the puppet master, and he has all those compromising evidence, could put Biden in jail for treason, and that's death. Okay, that's death, because all those evidence are dating back to 2010 when he was a vice president with photos, with audios, with everything. Okay, and that's why Biden is fighting for his survival, but Xi is fighting for ultimate control. Because why? Because the people who knew the truth are in the United States are Xi Jinping's top five enemies.
So are you saying that because he had this damning evidence over Biden, that's why he worked so hard to make sure that Biden won? I mean, it is quite mysterious. A couple of things. Hang on. There's some the disjointed part of this is obvious. That they took the laptop from hell. The guy that ran Isaacs that ran the store turned it over to the FBI in November of 2019, so that Chris Wray and Bill Barr had it then, and they did not bring it up. If they had brought it up, in all likelihood, Pocahontas, right, or Bernie Sanders would have been the nominee. The scale of the corruption was so immense that could have been seen, because I was brought in here to go through the CCP part. It was so immense that it kind of blew me away when I first went through it. And this was the same laptop from hell that the following September and October, only the New York Post and Miranda Devine and Emma Jo Morris had the courage to really take it to their editors, and their editors and the Murdoch lawyers signed off on it, published it. And of course, all social media with the FBI and with the Biden regime suppressed it. So are you saying there was enough information off that and others that this is
Absolutely.
why she? Okay, fine. Ava, we got to bounce. Where do people go on NFC, the show? I'm actually going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yes.
Where do people go to get your podcast, your daily show, and also where do they go on Getter? Right, because we want everybody to go to Getter. I'm putting up my stuff on Getter nonstop. So if you want to see our current thinking, right, or the direction of our thinking, just go to Getter. Where do people go to get New Federal State of China's content?
Please do follow us on Getter, which is our preferred platform, at NFSC Speaks. And also we're on X, so you can find us on X at NFSC Speak. So tomorrow at noon-ish, we will have our Friday special with you, Steve. So we will talk about a little bit more about the intel behind what I just shared here. So thank you.
Perfect. Look forward to going getting with you guys tomorrow. It stinks to high heaven. There's definitely, you can't connect the Biden relationship with the Chinese Communist Party, what's on the laptop from hell, and Miranda Devine's done a great job of putting it out, but it still doesn't actually even get, her laptop from hell is an amazing book. She's done a fantastic job. It would have never gotten out if it had not been for her. But even in that regard, it is, there's so much